What's up, buds? And welcome to a new episode, a new edition, a new installment of
So
the
many
Earbuds,
synonyms.
so many things, of the Earbuds Chit Chat. This is the show where we pick one topic that kind of has something to do with music a little bit, and we kind of just give our really off the cuff opinions about it. Sometimes we're smoking, sometimes we're drinking while we do this, and we want to know what you guys want us to talk about. So leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys should think a chit chat topic should be moving forward. We have a ton of these getting ready to come out, but I
It'd be
am
interesting.
Lucas. Shut up. You are Ash. We are the hosts of the Earbuds podcast, and you were saying some bullshit about something.
I'm interested to see what is on people's minds these days when it comes to music. So
Yeah.
even though we have a couple prompts ready, if y'all send it in, it's probably going to be first priority.
It could be anything. Like, what are your top five this? Or how do you feel about people playing loud music in public parks? Or, like it could be any topic about music. We are full of hot takes. And I have a fucking spicy ass take to talk about today, my friend,
Would you
because
say it's spicy? Would you say it's out of the norm?
it's, it seems to be working in a lot of cases that we're going to be talking about, but I saw Thor Love and Thunder recently, and to be honest, I wasn't that excited to watch it. The trailers didn't really look that enticing or that fun. I could tell that they were going to try really hard in this movie because Thor Ragnarok was like such a different Thor movie.
Right.
You
Yeah.
saw that one, right?
I saw a little bit of that one.
So it was super humorous and tongue-in-cheek and very goofy, which is like Thor has never been that before.
Well,
And
because it was by the director of
What We Do in the
What
Shadows.
We Do in the Shadows, yeah.
He did what was the Nazi movie that was great? Jojo Rabbit, I think. Man, so good. I love pretty much everything Taika Waititi has done. He did I think did I already say What We Do in the Shadows? Am I that high already?
Yes, he said What We Do in the
Okay,
Shadows.
so he's great, man, but I definitely
so-
think he's getting to a point where he's a little bit too sure of himself. And with Love and Thunder specifically, they just ramped up the silliness and the refusing to be serious about anything, which is a lot of movies recently also that have been coming out, that it's like every moment that should be fucking scary or people should be freaking out, it's like people are making jokes and it doesn't make any sense. And one of the things that I feel like has been happening a ton, especially in the last, like, I'll say 5 years in movie soundtracks specifically, has been using nostalgia as a selling point or as a way to get someone to like watch this movie because it has this song in the trailer that you love or whatever, and it's
Yep.
really starting to get old for me. And Thor Love and Thunder just completely pushed it over the edge, like fucking stabbed it in that trope in the ass like 1,000 times. And I just, by the end of it, I was upset. Like, I was so mad at this movie.
Well, if you haven't been able to tell, the question this week is why do movie soundtracks rely so much on nostalgia? And we're basing this mostly on Lucas's recent Thor: Love and Thunder watch that he was a little bit forced to watch at a drive-in.
I mean, yeah, I was, I went on my own volition to go see this movie. I wasn't, no one fucking
But then you
dragged
got
me
there and they told you to stay or they're gonna shoot you in the leg.
Right, that's how drive-ins work. And yeah, man, and it really, like, Thor Love and Thunder, I feel like, was the culmination of this issue that I've had for the last 5 years at least, where, especially in movie trailers, like, every movie trailer for the last 5 years has been a pop song from the 80s or 90s that has been slowed down, played soft, and covered by some fucking new artist that I'm supposed to give a shit about.
Yep.
And it's just this mega dramatic, melancholic melodrama version of like a pop song or something. And even with the Batman, which I loved the Batman, but they took that Nirvana song
Yep.
and used it a lot in the song, and I thought in the movie, and I thought they did that really, really well, actually. But Thor: Love and Thunder, I mean, the soundtrack on this fucking movie, dude, like,
Well,
I feel like this is becoming like boomer. Like, you remember growing up, whenever every commercial and every movie had like Motown music and like disco.
I mean, we grew up in very different times.
That's true, but me growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, so many commercials had disco and Motown in the commercials. A lot of movie soundtracks had a lot of like 80s, 70s, 60s songs, and I kept thinking like, who is this for? Like, why in this, like, you know, internet provider commercial are you playing a fucking Temptations song? I'm just like, who are you trying to attract? And I started realizing that I started working in advertising, and I started realizing that the creative directors are 20 years older than me.
Yeah, right.
And that's exactly what's happening right now with movies, where it's like 50-year-olds are starting to make movies. It's starting to be like the popular filmmakers that make these big blockbusters, you know. So it's like now they're just picking all their music from their childhood that they love and that they thought was super fucking cool, and it's like not vibing. I'm not vibing with it at all.
I would say Marvel is a pretty big reason why I think this is all happening lately. Not starting with Guardians of the Galaxy, but that was definitely,
dude,
that was probably the start of the Marvel kind of like, we're already pandering to the old heads who know these superheroes.
Oh my god, you remember Suicide Squad, the first one?
Oh boy, yeah,
the first like 3 minutes was like 12 different songs.
Yep, it was
all like classic rock and shit. Oh,
it was all original songs, but by modern artists.
Seven Nation Army, an Eminem song.
It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
I think House of the Rising Sun. Like, literally in the first 5 minutes, there was at least 5 or 6 different songs. That was when it got crazy. That when it was like, people were laughing in theaters when I saw that. At like, how, dude, really another intro, another fucking song, you know, and trying so hard to be cool.
I have not seen this movie, but I'm looking at the track list and I can't believe what I'm looking at.
Dude, right?
It's actually insane. Like, even if you're thinking about it in like a meta, ironic sense of humor,
which I know that's what they were trying to do.
Even that is kind of fucking old. Like,
yes,
Paradise City for the first song, please.
Dude.
Like, Only Time by Enya.
Like, and all of this stuff is used so tongue-in-cheek, too. Like, so tongue-in-cheek. There was so much Guns N' Roses throughout the movie.
There's
Welcome to the Jungle, like Paradise City, November Rain.
4 songs.
Yeah, and then they have like Rainbow in the Dark. Dude, Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, We Belong by Pat Benatar, God of Thunder by Kiss. Like,
Christ. It's like...
It got painful after a while that I was like, dude, this is Taika Waititi being like, these songs were cool as shit when I was 17. 17-year-olds are going to be watching this movie. This is what they want to fucking hear in this movie. And it's like, no, like, that's some boomer-ass fucking music, man. I don't want to listen to this shit anymore.
It's such a stereotypical soundtrack. I feel like I've seen this exact soundtrack, like, 20 times over in movies before this, and like, again, like, who are these movies for? Are they for the people growing up in this era? But
that's what I mean.
Like, Marvel has such a wide audience. I don't know why they're pandering to this one specific faction of it.
Dude, Marvel's main fucking stands are people my age, like mid-30s. That's Marvel stands, like dudes who grew up reading the comics that they're making into movies now, like those stories and everything.
Yeah,
like, it is people my age, and I am not a fucking Marvel dude at all. Like, this is the easiest. I wanted to complain about this soundtrack is why we basically are fucking talking about this right now. But I am not complaining about the movie. I don't give a fuck if it was a shitty movie or a great movie or whatever. It's just, there's no way the movie's gonna be good with this fucking music, in my opinion. And I am their demographic. Me and people younger than me is the demographic. There's no one in their 50s watching every Marvel movie that comes out. And there are, but, you know, few and far between.
And let's think of a fucking movie that did this well. Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Fucking fantastic.
What a great fucking copyright soundtrack. It was kind of old music. It was like 80s and 70s kind of like punk stuff.
Yeah.
It's stuff that the demographic wouldn't know, but those songs themselves worked so well in the movie.
And a lot of them, I think a big part of why Baby Driver works so well too is a lot of them are deep cuts by those bands.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like the most popular song by Guns N' Roses. It's like, no, it's the one that no one's heard.
Literally choosing the 4 most like played on the radio songs by Guns N' Roses.
But across the board too, with every band, Immigrant Song is the best known Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah, like Rainbow in the Dark by Dio.
Probably one of his biggest hits.
Family Affair, Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Like fucking Goodies by Sierra. It's like, come on, dude. I'm so sick of it.
I'm telling you, it got so painful for me after a little bit. And I'm trying to think like another soundtrack that had a really good copyright, all copyrighted music. I don't know if Scott Pilgrim counts.
That counts.
Because I love that soundtrack, and
it was good stuff.
Yeah, and they had covers of like they had that Sade cover on there, and they had a few like alternate versions of songs on there, and I thought they did really, really well, man. Oh, you got me thinking now. Like, what's another good copyrighted soundtrack?
Fucking NCAA 2006.
Oh, if we're going, all right. I mean, this is going to be a whole nother topic of video game soundtracks and the impact that they had on us. Because like we can talk about Tony Hawk Pro Skater all fucking day, man.
I mean, but the thing is, I think the main conceit here is that nostalgia. I'm so sick of nostalgia music, but if you're going to use it, use shit that is good for the movie, and you're not just trying to get like a nostalgia hit, or you're trying to be ironic, because like it was funny the first couple times. It is so fucking old now. Yeah,
the irony and like the tongue-in-cheek of it is man, it's just so, like you said, it's tired.
It's like formulaic. You can see it coming. You heard those first 2 songs, you were like, could tell when every single song was going to happen after that, I'm sure.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is that the whole movie relies on nostalgia for so many of its jokes and so many of its references. Like Taika clearly grew up in the 80s, and like I get it. Like he literally had a moment where Thor was like in battle and these 2 alien ships are flying towards him like from each side, and all of a sudden like they look like they're about to smash right into him, right? And then the next cut is like a really close-up shot of Thor, and he kind of looks like he's shaking a little bit, and then it slowly pans out, and it's him doing the splits, stopping both ships. And it's just like, okay.
That seems kind of funny. Though.
Funny image, right? But that is a reference to a Jean-Claude Van Damme commercial that he did like maybe 5-10 years ago or something, where he's riding in between 2 18-wheelers and he's doing a split in between 2 while they're driving.
Jesus.
It's a pretty sick commercial, but that's like something that Jean-Claude was known for in like the 80s and 90s, that he was the karate guy that could do splits. There were so many moments in the movie, like the shirt that Thor's wearing, it looks like the shirt that the main character in Big Trouble in Little China wore, which was like a really popular 80s John Carpenter movie,
sure.
right? And it's like it is that throughout the entire fucking movie, and I'm just like, dude, this is so old at this point. And it's not just like the 80s are fucking done, dude. Like after Stranger Things and all the other 80s,
like, that's about as like much as we're gonna go. Which
there's not gonna be any more 80s shit after Stranger Things is done.
It's like that's gotta cap it off, right? Like I've already seen 90s nostalgia shows coming out, and even 2000s. Yet we're still not at the 80s somehow.
Dude, I'm seeing a fucking COVID nostalgia show that's about to come out.
Bro, fuck off. What?
It's called like Stints or it's some fucking channel I've never heard, Freeform or one of those fucking bullshit channels that are trying so hard. It is a sitcom about a criminal family, like a family of like swindlers, that their kid that's in prison, he's not a kid, he's like in his 40s, but like the woman's son that's in prison gets released from prison because of COVID-19, which I guess happened, which I don't think happened. They didn't just let prisoners out of prison.
I don't think that would seem kind of odd.
So the whole thing is that he gets out and they're just like, hey, you guys are free to go. And he's like, what? Why? And he's like, because of COVID-19. And the guy's like, what's COVID-19? and then it goes to the next thing, and it's just like, my son got let out of prison, and now he's gonna be on my team, and we're gonna like they have like piles of toilet paper in their house that they're like selling to people, like
Bro,
literally
who
people
the
are
fuck
already
is, like...
I know people are already nostalgic about the fucking beginning of COVID. It's like nostalgia is it's just so insane to me.
If you are ever looking upon the last 2 or 3 years, 2020 on, in a fucking nostalgic light with red tinted lenses, you did not go through the same one I did.
Imagine the writer and the producer that thought like, we need to laugh at this finally. Like, people are just so ready to move on. Let's just start laughing at this. And it's like, yeah, I wonder if they addressed the 1 million+ people that died like throughout this sitcom about COVID, you know?
It's like it was such a shitty event universally. It was like even laughing at it is like, I mean, eventually we should like be able to do that, but I don't want any fucking
like, no one laughs at Pearl Harbor. No one laughs at the AIDS epidemic from the 80s. There hasn't been an AIDS comedy as far as I know. Maybe Rent. I don't know.
Hi, editing Ash here. Did you just say fucking Rent? How the fuck did I miss that? I love my favorite AIDS comedy, Rent. It's too soon, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think it's in poor taste for sure. I'm really surprised that it even got made. But it's like, again, it's like that's how people are just like, no one wants to live in the now. And I'm not saying that all these movies and all this nostalgia is like, it's become a trope. It's getting old, but it's not inherently bad. Like, there's a lot of things that I enjoy based purely off of nostalgia. Things from when I was a kid that I still love. But when I was around 25 years old, I realized I need to stop wearing a Ninja Turtle shirt. Like, there's a point...
That's a sad moment in your life, man.
There's a point where you need to stop, in my opinion, you need to stop representing the things that you liked as a kid. They don't need to represent you anymore. Like, you are allowed to like other things. It's like all these people with Star Wars that everyone hates the new Star Wars, and sometimes when someone likes the new Star Wars, they almost feel weird for liking it because they know they're supposed to hate it. And it's just like, well, so like, you're allowed to like it. It's fine. And it's not like I don't need only new music in movies. I'm not trying to hear like nothing I've never heard before in every single fucking movie. But when it's something like this, like egregious like this, and like, to the point where it's done for a reason because it's supposed to be funny, which the movie wasn't funny like at all. I was so done, dude. I agree. I think I don't think it's inherently a bad thing, but used to this degree is crazy. There are a lot of great soundtracks coming out now. I feel like hanging on to nostalgia, hanging on to that time when you were a kid, it's like a common experience for everybody, but you gotta... It's totally understandable.
Kind of get yourself out of that hole.
Yeah.
A little bit. You can't, like... Because your childhood's gonna be, like... Usually the favorite part of your life or whatever.
Usually.
Sometimes for everyone.
Yeah, but, like, for us lucky people, like, childhood was awesome.
At least the things happening around you stick in your mind and are iconic, and you want to see references to those things and all that. But
I'll go watch Ninja Turtles, man. I'll go fucking listen to Guns N' Roses if I want to. Like, I don't need to live out Taika Waititi's fucking 16-year-old wet dream of like what movie he would have done when he was 16. Because that's 1000% what this was, and I'm seeing that too much in a lot of movies these days. And as a huge movie fan, it's just like, man, I've never walked away so angry from a double feature when I watched Thor: Love and Thunder and Jurassic Park Dominion. Talk about two movies and two properties that are trying so hard to bank on nostalgia.
Oh,
yeah. And they were both horrible. Horrible.
Damn. Well, what do you guys think about nostalgic movie soundtracks? Do you think we're off the shits on this? Do you enjoy hearing Paradise City for the 800th time? Do you really enjoy November Rain? Honestly.
Paradise City is on my list of songs that never need to be heard again. I have a growing list of those songs. That could be a topic on an upcoming one.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
But if y'all want a topic on this show, go ahead and send them in. We're gonna put y'all first. We want to hear what y'all are thinking about
Yes.
and give our takes on them.
Yes.
Also, like, subscribe, fucking hit that fucking bell, hit that fucking comment. You don't even need to type in anything. Just like do like random keyboard smashes if you want.
I thought
We
this was
need
gonna
the
be a
engagement.
release for me. I'm like pent up now. I'm all fucking jazzed.
Nah, this is. It can be a laid back show, but sometimes it just kind of fucking gets you on your toes.
Yeah, I'm on all 10 right now. But thank you so much for watching, buds. Subscribe to our channel. Do all the things that Ash told you to do. Go to our Instagram at EBPcast. And that's it. And that's it. Thank you for watching.
Stick around, y'all. We got some fun things happening in the future.
I'm done.
We'll fucking. But for now, we're out. Bye.
I'm done with this conversation.